Hi Shay, my name is Shay Leone, and in this video, I'm going to show you 3 things that you can do today to help bring in more customers to your business. Now, most likely you're sitting there asking yourself, why would she be doing this? What's in it for her? Well, the answer is most of the time, local business owners are simply way too busy running their own business to learn all the ways that the internet can help them. And sometimes the only hesitation you have to hiring someone is they don't know who is an expert and who isn't. I've found that by giving people an easy, free attack plan of actual things that they can do to impact their business for free, well, that's resulted in some of those business owners still raising their hands and saying, hey, Shay, I like you. Would you please do this for me? So if by the end of this video you like what you've heard and you can see that I have a lot of tricks up my sleeve that can help your business, shoot me a message back and we can chat. Or if at the end of this video, you simply want to take this free attack plan and give it a go yourself, that works for me too. So now let me show you the 3 things that will set your company above your competition and not waste any more of your time or mine. The first thing that I want to go over is content. Well, most business owners know that they need decent content, but what they don't know is that Google's little search bots are out there reading your website and looking for a minimum of 1,500 to 2,400 words of informative, well-written content with the right keywords for you to show up at the top of a Google search. Well, unfortunately, that doesn't completely change just because this is an e-commerce site. It is a bit different than if you were a plumber, but Google still needs to know that you are the authority on your topic. And there are several ways that we can let them know. So first thing I want to just show you though is I took your site and I threw it in word counter, and your site has about 345 words on it. Your closest competitor, or actually I'm so sorry, your number 1 competitor for needlepoint kits, that would be Poppy Monk needlepoint kit. And they have about 1,850 words on their homepage. The number 1 contender for needlepoint in and of itself, as well as many of the other needlepoint keywords out there, would be this company here. So how is it that they are getting all this content on their site, and how can you do that too? Well, let me show you a little tool that I have here, and this is called Ahrefs. And one of the things that it does is it gives me behind the scenes details on the things that Google is looking at when it comes to ranking a site. One of the things that we need to find on a site, that Google needs to find on a site, are keywords. And these are search terms that that your customers are typing in on a Google search. And this is how Google knows where to bring those customers. Well, Poppy Monk needlepoint kit happens to have 843 keywords. When we look down here, we see that they are number 1 for needlepoint kits, and they are certainly on the front page, the first page, for needlepoint, needlepoint canvas, so many other words that they are definitely a top contender for. But one thing you will also notice is, obviously, I'm sure you're used to some of this, but the volume of people searching for needlepoint kits happens to be over 7,000. This has driven over 2,000 clicks to your competitor for them being in the number 1 spot. Now, if we go ahead and we look at needlepoint.com, they have over 5,000 keywords. And as you can see, their top contender is the word needlepoint in and of itself. It also happens to be a very high competition keyword, but that is over 20,000 searches a month, and it's driving them over 3,700 clicks every month for being in the #1 spot. These people, I'm not going to lie, are going to be very difficult to beat. It is going to take a minute to surpass these results. One thing I do want to show you is here. This is a website page counter. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put your competitors in this website page counter as well as you. And when we do that and we click off these searches here, we're going to submit you, submit Poppy Monk, and submit needlepoint.com. What we see here is that you are found having 299 pages. We see that 263 of those are product pages, 9 other pages. You've got 26 collections and 1 blog. When we look at Poppy Monk, needlepoint kits, they're being found for 397 pages, about 100 more than you are, 200 products, 65 other pages, 86 collections, and 38 blogs. Well, this is definitely where they are getting more of those keywords in and more of their content. And if you're wondering how needlepoint.com got in over 5,000 keywords, they have 133,000 pages. Most of those being their products, but they have over 1,000 blogs. That is a lot of content, and that is a lot of keywords. What you're going to need to do to beat these competitors, I would suggest we would be looking at beating Poppy Monk first for the key terms like needlepoint kits and some of these other keywords that have good volume but very low keyword difficulty. One of these ways that we would be doing that would be looking at your blogs, getting some more blogs up, and other things with more content, like they have lessons in here, they have beginner kits, they have needlepoint stitch library, so many different creative ways to get in more content. And that shows to Google who is the authority on the topic, and we need to make you that authority. So the way to do that is to get these keywords on your site multiple times and get your content up. We can beat them. It'll just take a little bit of elbow grease. Let's talk about the third thing I want to go over with you today, and that is backlinks. This third pillar will really help you dominate on Google. So when we do a search for needlepoint kit on Google, and we see here ads. Ads can be great, but they can also be a money pit if you do not have your foundation dialed in, which is your website, and if they're not tracked properly. This next section down here is called the organic section. And this is where you want to be right here, which is these top 3 premium spots And the reason is because these three spots on the first page of a Google search get over 70% of all clicks on this page, 30% going to whoever's sitting in the number one spot. Okay, so you're wondering, great, how do I get there? Well, you need authority. So, how do you get authority with Google? Well, that all comes down to backlinks. And a backlink is, this lovely diagram here will help me see. Well, a backlink simply is when you're going through a website and you happen to notice the little blue highlighted word, you click on that and it takes you to your website. That is a backlink, like a vote of confidence or a referral in Google's eyes. And this passes authority. And the more relevant the site, the more valuable the link. So let me give you an example. So if you get a local blog or industry site and it's linking back to your site, well, hey, that's great. But if you get a backlink from Pizza Hut linking back to you, that's not so great because you're not selling pepperoni. So let me look at your site here, and we're going to see how you're doing on your backlink profile. And we go back up here to our overview, and we see you're being found for 14 backlinks. Now, if we look at the competition, and we go over here to Poppy Monk, we see that for them, they have over 250 backlinks. We go and we look at needlepoint.com, and we go to their overview here, and they have over 3,000 backlinks, and theirs are very, very strong, and many of them are really great backlinks to have, but they still actually only have about 50 or 60 of those that are really good. So is it a challenge? Of course. Can we beat it? Absolutely. You're probably wondering, well, how do we get these backlinks? This is one advantage that we have of having this tool called Ahrefs, because we're only trying to beat Poppy Monk at first, but we can use the backlink profile from needlepoint.com. They have so many wonderful ones to start out with. We're going to go after theirs. I simply can go out here, click on them, and it takes me to theirs, and it shows me where and how they got their backlink, and you can go out and get the same ones. Well, now see, getting you to the top, it's not magic, it's just method, and I've shown you that method today. So once again, we went over content. We need to get your content up significantly. And in that content, we need to have the right keywords. And there are quite a number of them that we would want to be going after. And lastly, backlinks. We need more relevant sites pointing at you guys to show Google that you are the authority. And if you implement these strategies, you can be number one across Google as well. So I bet you're wondering, what now? Well, you can either go with this information that I've provided and do this on your own. And hey, I'm totally cool with that. However, if you want the most effective route and you want to save yourself the time and the headache, well, give me a call at 901-589-5244. Once again, my name is Shelley Leone, and I look forward to hearing from you. Have a great day.